G'day guys. So, power. Everyone wants it. Everyone needs it now, pretty much, right? Use it for almost everything and you can never have too much of it. So, since this is our home for the moment, for the next year or 2 years, we don't really know how long, we decided to splurge and get some power setup done in our truck and caravan. So most people go and they go to whoever does Enerdrive or whatever in their area, and they'll go and they'll get their caravan fitted out with an Enerdrive system or something like that. So they'll chuck some extra solar panels on the roof of the caravan, they'll chuck some lithium batteries in the caravan and have an inverter in there. And that's them done. And that's a pretty good way to go. It's not a bad thing to do. There's plenty of space for solar panels on the roof of a caravan and you'll probably have a lot of power. We did it a little bit differently. So we have a lot of space in our truck. It's a pretty big truck and we wanted to have the ability to take the truck away and still have power. And so I've seen setups like I think Trip and a Van usually have a battery and a separate battery and inverter and stuff in their vehicle, and then another setup in the caravan. But we just wanted to go with like one decent one. And I heard of this company called Safari. How do we pronounce it? Bruce, tell me how to pronounce it, mate. All right. And so I'd heard of this company called Safari. And Bruce, the owner, has a pretty cool system where he's invented or repurposed some existing tech. I'm not exactly sure. Basically, it's created a pretty awesome inverter. And this inverter basically pulls power from the vehicle alternator and puts it into the batteries of the truck. So we installed a battery system in the truck, and it's got a pretty awesome inverter in there that pulls power from the vehicle's alternator and pumps into the batteries. And so normally, like most of these systems, you'd have a 20 or 30 amp DC to DC charger, and you'd have your batteries at 12 volts, your lithiums. So this is a bit different. All of our stuff is at 48 volts, and the charger, the inverter that charges the batteries off the vehicle alternator is like a 12 to 48 volt inverter, and it's actually bi-directional as well. And what that means is that we can pull about 150 amps out of our alternator, out of our truck alternator, and pump it straight into our batteries. So that is a lot of power. It's about, when we're driving, it's about 1.5 to 1.8 kilowatts going into the batteries, charging the batteries while we're driving. And that's like, just because the Iveco Daily has a stock alternator that's a 150 or 180 amp alternator, your normal sort of four drive like a Land Cruiser or whatever, I don't think that's anywhere near that. And in that case, they do have they do drop in a second alternator or a different alternator or something like that. But for us, it just fit in because the vehicle alternator was already pretty awesome. So yeah, let me show you our power panel over here. It's pretty sick. So this was all installed by Safari. And the main trick is this cool little panel here. Can't really show it to you very well, but essentially it's touchscreen and it shows us everything that's going on with the system, and we can do all the settings and everything like that. We turn the inverter off and on through that panel, which is pretty cool. We also have all of our, so we have like an AC side, the inverting side, and we also have a DC side. And the DC side is things like our fridge, which has a watermelon and some ciders and some frozen meals. Good times. We've got an angle, which we already had for camping, a 38 litre angle, which we're running as a deep freeze in the truck now. We've also got all of our lights in here. You can see this is pretty cool. So everything's touch. We've got a bunch of lights in the truck, which is really cool. We've got some switches for everything here, which are all engraved, which is a nice touch. We got some power, 240 volt power, angle and fridge, and some plugs at the back there. And this is actually pretty cool because we have a beastie air compressor. We actually have the King's twin air compressor because we have very big tires to fill. And this thing is like a 90 amp air compressor. And so we actually told Safiri about it, and they're like, wow, we've never dealt with something that bloody heavy, hectic before. And so they've actually put a fused live point and a fused earth point here. And so when we want to run the compressor, we basically put the alligator clips onto those 2 points and run the compressor off that, which is good, and it works. So what have we got power wise? We have 600 amp hours of 12 volt equivalent batteries in the truck under the back seat. I'll show you it now. You cannot tell that it's in there, which is amazing. The truck's a bit messy, but I'll show it to you. So under the seat there is 600 amp hours of batteries and a 3.5 kilowatt inverter, and it's all Victron gear, which is pretty awesome. It's expensive, trust me, but anyway, you can see the cool install job that the guys did here between the canopy of the truck and the cab. And so everything's like hidden underneath the seat in there, and everything in the truck is hidden behind this cool panel here. You can see the logo. And we've got 760 watts of solar on the roof of the truck. Now, you would not fit that on a normal Land Cruiser, I guarantee it. There's just no way. So maybe if you had a van or something, you might do it, but we have enough space up here. I'll show you. Cool thing about these panels is they can handle about 250 kilos of weight on them, so we can walk on them. We haven't really done it much, but we're actually going to carry I think we're going to carry a picnic blanket, so we're going to bring chairs up when we're at places with awesome views, like parked up by the beach, camping and stuff. Alright, so we've got, at the back of the truck, we've got an inlet, so that's for 240 volt mains power to go in, and that can charge the batteries off mains power if we need to. So if we're in a caravan park or something, like we are at the moment, and the batteries need recharging like a lot, we can go in there. And then we've got an outlet over here, which is cool. So that's what we normally use, and we normally just basically use a 15 amp power cable, and we plug our Caravan into the truck, and the inverter in the truck just stays on all the time. We never turn it off, and the Caravan just thinks it's on mains power. So no dramas, it's really easy. Like, we can run the aircon for like 8 hours or something off those batteries, which is pretty epic. Instant pot, what else? Our gas hot water was on the fritz for a while, so we're using electric hot water for like 2 weeks, off grid, off the truck batteries. It draws about 1.6 kilowatts when it's running, about the same as an aircon. But you know, we had the power to spare, so why not? G'day. So in the back here, you can see this is the other side. This is the messy side, my side. You can see we've got some cool lights installed there. They're multi-stage, like multi-colours, multi-stage. Got an LED work light there. We've got lights inside the truck. They're all multicolour and everything, which is cool. We got them to install power points throughout as well. So there's a nice power point underneath our bed over here. and that basically charges. I usually run my Ryobi and AEG chargers in the back there. So that's for the chainsaw and all of the hand tools. And I also charge my electric motorbike, the Suron, which is just here. Road registered electric dirt bike. It takes about 3 hours to charge, and that normally just runs off that thing as well. And again, no problem off the inverter and the truck batteries. 3 hours draws about 750 watts while it's charging, roughly, very approximately. But yeah, no dramas. It's really good. So I'll show you some of the system over here. This is our charging station that we run. It's a bit messy again. There's a theme here. But basically we've got 240 volt power under there, 12 volt power in there as well. All of it, we've got a power board. We keep all of our bits and bobs that need charging, like drone batteries and stuff, in this box for dust reasons. So it's got camera batteries, GoPro batteries, Insta batteries, drone batteries basically. Lots of batteries. Everything gets charged in there. And then up and underneath, inside the truck, is where all the magic happens. So this is that cool inverter that they've got, the 12 to 48 volt inverter up there. I said it was bi-directional. What that means is that the truck actually uses that bank of batteries to help start as well, because it doesn't like starting off just the normal starter batteries. Alright, just showing you the kitchen power in the truck. So we've got here our trusty IKEA induction cooktop, and then we've got a double banger power outlet right there, and so we can just plug anything into that basically and run it. I'm just going to show you how we run the power off grid now. So here's the Caravan power outlet, just a cable, and then go across. This is the outlet on the truck power. So this goes in, and now boom, the Caravan is on 240 volts from the truck. Great success. You can see here, this is what it looks like when we're off grid, and it's actually drawing power. You can't really see that, can you? Yeah, so you can see that the Caravan's plugged in, and we're using 134 watts out of the batteries. PV charger is only putting in 20 watts because it's really overcast today. But yeah, you can see how that's all working. And so the Caravan's plugged in at the moment. That's what the Caravan's drawing at 135 watts. So here you can see the truck inverter pumping power through the Scotty, which is the Safiri tech, into the batteries. This is just idling the truck at the moment. It's doing like 500 and something watts. That's just straight out of the alternator into the batteries. Almost forgot to tell you, we do not carry a generator. So we made that decision very early in the piece when we were still planning everything. We decided we'd prefer to spend the money on the power system and not have a generator. So not carry around the weight of a generator, the fuel of a generator, and the hassle of a generator. And like, because we hate them. We hate going to a quiet campsite and then somebody's running a generator next to you. It's just like it's the worst. It's not the worst thing ever, but it kind of sucks, yeah. There's no getting around it. Because the cost, you don't have to spend as much as we spent to not have to have a generator. You can spend less than we spent and get away with it, and probably still not have a generator. But if you have specific like medical needs or whatever, then that's a different story. But run everything electric, so we don't have any fuel. So we've got even the electric chainsaw, which is amazing. Hey guys, that's the end of the power video. Let me know if you have any comments or questions in the comments, and we'll try and answer them the best we can. Yeah, I mean, it's a simple but complex system, so yeah. Let me know if you got any things that you want answered.